For the police, you can be bribed. And for the police, you can't.
That is Salvatore Maceo giving Spencer Dutton the tools he'll need to safely get bootlegged liquor from Galveston to Fort Worth, Texas.
Send Luca back on the train. Truck is yours, if you can make it. I know what it's like to lose your home.
From there, it looks like Spencer can turn up the radio and cruise all the way home to Bozeman. I mean, hopefully that thing has four-wheel drive. Because have you seen the weather in Montana lately? I'm joking, of course. And honestly, I don't think Spencer has to worry about driving around Bozeman. He's not going to make it that far. Not yet, anyways. Clues revealed by Paramount in 1923 indicate that this trip goes poorly. But don't worry, I think I found evidence that proves he will make it home alive soon. I 100% agree with this person on YouTube. Odysseus didn't need this much time to get to Ithaca. 10-second recap. Spencer ticked off the mafia in Galveston, so now he has to do their bidding to be free. Okay, that was only like 5 seconds, but, it's worth mentioning again that this guy, Salvatore Maceo, was real-life mafia. Fascinating story, link in the description. Here is why I think Spencer's trip to Fort Worth goes bad. It's quick, but actually if you missed it, you missed it. Let me rewind, start again, and stop. That is Spencer in a 1920s high-speed chase, which sounds terrifying. I think he's actually running from the law, and I have the evidence to back it up. Plus, I'll show you exactly how Spencer arrives in Bozeman before this video wraps up. Like I said last week, Spencer is headed to Fort Worth, which is where his father James started his journey in 1883. If he follows that same path, he's likely to run into two familiar faces. The first is Tiona Rainwater, who is now being hunted down by this woman.
I doubt you traveled from Montana to question my ability to serve this badge. You need something, and if you have any hopes of getting it, you'll ask for it now before I throw you out of my office.
We know that she and Spencer meet up eventually because of this clip from the official trailer.
You're 30 miles from anything. Where are you headed?
Montana. Family needs me.
With apologies to this guy on YouTube, there is no way that they get that close to each other without their paths overlapping. Tiona and her father runs his horse is likely to meet the owner of that ranch that they're squatting on in episode 3 as well. And here again, it's another tip of the hat to 1883 in Dutton family history. Charles Goodnight helped James and Margaret out 40 years ago. I'm quite confident he'll be back to do it again. And this is just another example of master storytelling from Taylor Sheridan. I mean, 1923 comes alive because you can see it and hear it, but in some ways you can taste it or even smell it. Scent tells a story. I mean, raise a hand if you can still remember how your grandparents smelled when they brought you in close, or how those notes just sort of hung in the air the first time your husband or wife walked by. Finding the perfect scent to help tell your story through all those twists and turns of life, it can be pretty challenging. Fortunately, Scentbird can help you with that. It's a monthly subscription service that lets you explore over 900 authentic designer and niche fragrances. Each month you receive a little vial like this one that lasts about 30 days. The beauty of these is the slim design and the little locking mechanism, so you can toss it in your bag or your purse and not worry about it spilling. I've been trying out some different fragrances to match my many roles at home. This is one I was really excited about. It's called Commodity Milk, and I was hoping for something strong, but not too overpowering or intimidating. Yeah, you see, there's something sweet there. I think it's the warm marshmallow, and it really mixes with the tonka bean to help tell my story. I mean, let's be honest. I live in suburbia, and I drive a 20-year-old minivan. Would you really expect me to smell like rich forest pine? There are so many other great choices for men and women. You can actually change your fragrance every month. That kind of frees you up to take a risk without spending several $100s at a retailer. Here's the kicker. If you scan my QR code on screen or use code TASTE55, you can get 55% off your first month to discover your signature scent. That's just $8 to start your personalized fragrance journey. Remember, code TASTE55 for 55% off your first month. All right, this one is called Sugar Leather, and it's a little bit more rugged. Think Spencer Dutton, not Jack Dutton, who's actually about to have a real big moment in episode 3 of 1923. Basically, his job is to convince his fiancée not to move back home with her mom.
When the storm passes, I'm going home.
Do you want evidence that that works out? Sure, there you go. Somewhere along the way, I think Jack is going to have a full episode to himself. That was one thing we really got from 1883 and Yellowstone. Each character was challenged in an impossible way, and they were made better for it. Jacob is challenged in just about every episode, most recently in a blizzard.
Here's where we all get to know each other real good. Snuggle up, shoulder to shoulder.
It's real tempting to believe that once the storm passes, everyone gets home safely, but I actually think that someone's not going to make it out of that little shelter alive. Maybe it's one of the ranch hands. Adison Haager will join me for more questions and answers in just a moment, but let's get back to Spencer and his journey home. Going to go back to the teaser video now for some clues.
Bring him home. Promise.
I promise.
This is one of at least 3 scenes that indicate Spencer arrives by train. Watch it again slowly, and you see that Spencer seems to have train hopped, but there are some bad men in his boxcar, or at least one bad man and a kid, kind of like our boy's odds there. There's another clip of him about 30 seconds deeper in that same preview video, and this one is so fast I'm just gonna screenshot it. That's a different train, right? He's in with the elite now, so somehow he gets passage. Spencer also travels on foot, and we know that because of the trailer. Remember this woman?
You patrol this territory, serving warrants, making arrests. Why do I find that hard to believe?
'Cause you're a bigot, living in the wrong century.
Here, he has that meeting with U.S. Marshal Mamie Fawcett.
You're 30 miles from anything. Where are you headed?
Montana. Family needs me.
I'll admit to being a little out on a limb in suggesting that she's looking for him as a result of something that went down in Fort Worth, but the way she's got that pistol pointed at him makes me think that she's investigating something other than Tiona. If only because no one has suggested that Tiona is traveling with an American. Elsewhere, we see Jacob Dutton boarding a train, and the suggestions are that he's off to pick up Spencer. This clip also seems worthwhile.
I know what to do. I'm coming home.
Who's Spencer calling? Aunt Kara and Uncle Jacob, they don't own a phone yet. When I rewatched both that teaser and the official trailer, I was struck by how much gunfighting there was on Dutton property. There's gonna be an epic battle, but not yet. And we're gonna save that for another video. I'd guess that this week we may get as far as Spencer meeting Mamie Fawcett, and my prediction is that Spencer's going to get home, but probably not until like episode 5, which means we have to wait till like late March in real life for that to happen. The other development that's sure to come true in episode 3 is Alexandra gets to America, although I don't think she gets much past the port where trouble in a bowler cap finds her. I focused on that scene previously but missed this one. We got so little of Alex in episode 2 that episode 3 has to make up for it, right? I'm just saying that if Elizabeth gets spooked by yet another animal this week, I am done with this show. Okay, we all know that's not true, but I will be shaking my fist at the TV. Joining me now with your questions, comments, and conspiracy theories is Adison Haager. Adison, what do we got first today?
Alrighty, the first one from YouTube says, I'm thinking the wolf got in through the broken window that the mountain lion was shot through. Okay. That's a skinny little thing that little sucker squeezed through, but...
They didn't fix the window?
We never see them fix a window, but I will say, remember the clanking noise with the full door swinging open, so... And it was the left side, not the right.
As cold as it is in Montana, they gotta put some boards up over that window until they got some new glass in there. I gotta believe they fixed that window. I understand the theory, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem to work for me.
Alrighty, this is a fun handle from YouTube. It's Blue Gorilla in the Mist. Mist. I'm just making sure I pronunciate on YouTube, who says, Billy, you have forgotten that Elsa tells us in the opening minutes of the show that Spencer lives to carry the family through the Great Depression and years ahead. Have you forgotten?
A lot of talk about, obviously, who the father and mother to Dabney Coleman's John Dutton is. That kind of is a thread going constantly in the comment section, especially in the YouTube video. And a lot of people refer back to Elsa's very first voiceover in episode 1, season 1, where she talks about how one brother will make it to live through the Great Depression, et cetera, and the other one won't. And then once John dies, it's left to believe that Spencer does. And of course, I've said that maybe Spencer Dutton dies. And the reason I think that maybe, because she also has another voiceover later where she says that Spencer is about to take his last journey, indicating that maybe he dies. So she kind of maybe is describing something very specific, or she seems to contradict herself a little bit. So I haven't forgotten that. I'm just aware that she seems to have maybe contradicted herself down the line. And there have certainly been times where something said ends up not being reality. It's like Taylor Sheridan's sort of right as you go sort of mentality.
Totally.
A little bit. And this could be one of those cases.
Alrighty, we have two more. The next one is from Malaford on YouTube who says, I think they used a dog, husky, etc., to chase down Elizabeth, and close-ups were CGI.
So this is with regards to if the wolf was real or AI. And he's suggesting that there was a dog and then they replaced it with AI. For
the faraway shots were the ones that were, or no, the close-up. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to call. I disagree.
You think it was all?
No, the faraway shot, I'll give you. The faraway shot looked real. The close-up ones, like the wolf coming out of that chicken coop, chasing after Elizabeth. I apparently am very passionate about this. Absolutely CGI. I was passionate the other day. I'm still passionate about it.
I don't think you can really train a wolf. I like the theory that they used a dog and maybe just adjusted it using AI. I think that theory holds up because you can get a dog to attack someone. Obviously, police dogs do it all the time. Doesn't need to be a husky. So that's easily done. Whether they did that or made it from scratch. You know what? I'm going to agree with you, Adison. Just for the sake of agreeing with you and understanding this is something you're really passionate about, I support this theory because I am a supportive co-host.
Wow, I think I might clip this part out of the podcast after and just hang it on my desktop anytime I need affirmation.
That's fair.
Alrighty, the last one I have for us today is from Jeremy, who says, the attention and dedication you all put into the program is truly commendable. I look forward to tuning in weekly and have subscribed on YouTube as your content has become a source of companionship for me. Jeremy, that's so kind. Thank you.
It was. And there wasn't even like a but. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even, but this.
But Billy doesn't know the difference between a wolf and a coyote.
100% genuine. And, you know, I think we've been hearing a lot from people who just appreciate that we're not AI. And that's because
as our imperfections prove correct.
Well, I guess there's some videos out there who are kind of computer generated. And I've called those channels out before. I won't do it again, but no, we're not, obviously. We're humans willing to make mistakes.
Like predicting Spencer meets Tiona in episode 3. Is it going to happen? I guess we'll find out the answer to that next week. Hey, remember, scan my QR code or use TASTE55 for 55% off your first month at Scentbird. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.